Let me ask you a question. In your experience, what has been the impact on volunteer firefighters when the paid service has a monopoly union contract?
Well, it's kind of tragic that the union continues, the IFF continues to diminish volunteers. And in fact, they just had one of their conventions where they codified the language that they can actually bring up firefighters, union firefighters who choose to volunteer for their community up on charges. It's really disingenuous. And you talked about what firefighters do. You know, firefighters go out every day, and there's not a firefighter that I don't know that wouldn't make their wife or widow and their kids parentless for the community they serve. So I have the highest respect for firefighters. But ironically, when it comes to line of duty deaths and injuries, the IFF, the International Fire Union, you know, they'll quote the volunteer statistics right along with their brother firefighters. And a tremendous amount of career firefighters like myself started off as volunteers. That was our foundation. So we always want to give back to the community to provide training. And what we see in a lot of communities is, and I used to live in a firehouse when going to college in Montgomery County, Maryland, right across from the Potomac. And the volunteers that were career, they usually were qualified as drivers quicker because they did it as a career, because it's hard to get that qualification to operate the pump or operate the aerial ladder. So that's the bread and butter to get out that volunteer piece so it's able to respond to your home. And the career firefighters used to give a lot of flack and threaten charges to what they got a derogatory name for it. They call them two-hatters. And they put a lot of pressure to get paid individuals that want to volunteer in their communities to not volunteer. And it's really, really tragic. One of the other things we see is you get a collective bargaining agreement in place, and there's a relationship between, say, the county executive and the union president who gives them their word, hey, we're not going to come after the members that volunteer. The problem is changing tides. Most union presidents' term is only 2 to 4 years. So that individual may be good on their word, but that member loses an election, or now all of a sudden you have another administration come in. Now you have that issue to the forefront.